I want to talk about something called fundamental physics and the idea that some scientists believe that they can explain the entire universe with a very, very small number of physical laws. And I also want to talk about why that's flawed. But in the beginning of the 18th century, up until then, lots of physicists worked on something that they called electricity. And this thing that they all worked on together bound them together. Some sort of belief that the different phenomena that they were looking at were somehow connected. They looked at circuits that flowed through wires, and they looked at static that would form when you rubbed your feet on the carpet, and they would look at lightning and they would say that these are somehow, we think that they're connected to the same thing. And they would call these all phenomena, they would call them something called electricity. And at the same time, there was another group of scientists that were working on something very, very different. They were working on the idea that if you have a magnetic needle and it points north, or you can stick two magnets together and they will stay, this idea they call magnetism. And throughout the 18th century, people started to realize that these were in fact different sides of the same coin. And this came with a very big experiment someone called Faraday did, where he passed a current through this coil of wire, a spiral of wire. And he found that when he did this, and he held it near a compass, the compass wouldn't point north, it would point somewhere else. It would point towards the core of the magnet. And in doing this, he realized, and scientists subsequently realized, that electricity and magnetism were actually one and the same. They were different sides of the same coin. And this sort of progression of understanding culminated in this incredible discovery by Maxwell, who realized that electricity and magnetism are in fact one and the same thing. And when you combine them together, you get this amazing prediction. It predicts the existence of light. So the light that's shining from this lamp in front of me now, what he found with his new theory was that this light is nothing more than ripples or disturbances in the electromagnetic field, is what he called it. And from there, this whole new form of science was born. They were able to describe electric phenomena like lightning and circuits flowing through wires. They were able to describe that in the same vein as they described magnets sticking to fridges and the magnetic field of the earth attracting compass needles. And in the same way, they were also able to talk about light moving through mirrors and pieces of glass and so on. And in this way, they were able to unify these three really separate areas of physics, light, electricity, and magnetism. And this is often hailed as quite a successful, or the archetypal story in physics, the idea of taking three things, or many, many different things that we perceive as being different, and showing that they're different sides of one single coin. And people have tried to replicate it ever since. The success story in physics has been trying to replicate it ever since. It's the idea of taking things that we know to be separate and showing that they actually are one and the same. And so in the turn of the 19th century, there was a very, very famous mathematician, this woman, Amy Newton, one of the greatest mathematicians of the 19th century. And she discovered there's a deep, deep connection between the laws of science, the fundamental laws of nature, and something called symmetry. So when I say symmetry to you, you kind of think of the symmetry when you look in the mirror. But I can also say to you now that the triangle has a symmetry. Which means if I take the triangle, and I rotate it by a third of a turn, I get the same triangle back. If I rotate it by another third of a turn, I get the same triangle back again. So symmetry. If I take a circle, I can rotate it by any amount and I get the same circle back. And this idea of doing something to something and getting the same thing back is fundamentally connected to the laws of nature themselves. The idea that energy can't disappear, or the idea that if I move at a certain speed, I have a certain momentum cannot be absorbed by nature. It's somehow conserved. And this deep connection between symmetries, between fundamental similarities between different things, and the laws of nature has enabled scientists to develop a theory of particle physics, a theory of physics that has reduced everything that we know, the entire wealth of physical phenomena, like how tables work, how lights work, how clouds evolve, how ripples form on the surface of the sea, how the sea evolves the sand and creates beaches. And particle physicists and many, many physicists have been able to unite these different phenomena into one single thing. And to today they can describe the whole wealth of physical experience with a combination of 6 different particles and 4 different types of ways these particles interact with each other. So if you think about all the things that a scientist could possibly want to consider, all the different physical phenomena of the universe, I can tell you that we can describe these things using 16 different particles and 4 different forces. So this is unification on some incredible scale, that we reduce the whole complex phenomena of the world down to 4 different forces and 16 different particles. And this is very, very much due to Emmy Noether, who showed the idea of symmetry was fundamentally embedded in the way that we think of the world. And so scientists have tried to take that further, and this has culminated in the idea of something called string theory. So many string theorists today are not happy with 16, they say 16 is too many, and they think that we can describe the world with just 1. And the idea is very, very simple. If you take a string, and I can vibrate a guitar string, for example, and I can play many, many different notes with the same guitar string. And the idea is that this one single string has many, many different properties depending on how it's played. And so perhaps I could play this string, one string in 16 different ways, and that would give rise to 16 different particles. And each one of these particles would go forth and create the sun, the stars, and the ripples of the sea, and the erosion of the rock into the beach that we see in Muizenberg today. This is a very, very ambitious idea, the idea you can describe everything you see with one single fundamental constituent piece, which is a string. And it has enjoyed some success, it's been quite successful. But to my mind, there's a problem with this idea of unification. So unification has brought us some incredible things. It's shown us how to manipulate light in fantastic ways. We owe the computer. And so many different scientific discoveries to this idea of unification of electromagnetism. But string theory is something else. String theory seems to me a step too far. It's the idea that we take reductionism to its extreme, the idea that we can unify too many things. And I think that there's a big lesson to be learned in this for several reasons. So, in the beginning of the 20th century, many mathematicians were trying to derive all of mathematics with a finite set of laws. They were trying to find some small, finite set of initial assumptions from which they could derive every mathematical concept we could ever conceive of. And this great logician, Kurt Gödel, managed to show that such a thing was impossible. He actually managed to prove that you can never derive all of mathematics from a single, finite set of laws. And elsewhere in political theory, around that same time, lots of political theorists and then subsequently dictators were trying to manage huge masses of people using ideologies, using ideas that were finite, that were small, that had come from a single brain. And this ended in horrendous killing and destruction and all the rest of it. And very, very quickly after this, people started to abandon the idea that you could explain everything using a reduced set of laws. You could reduce the whole world that you see down to a single finite set of laws. But for some reason, fundamental physics has never really let go of this idea. So politicians have very, very, very quickly after Lenin and Hitler and all these awful people have tried to embrace the world in its many different ways. They've tried to see one particular instance in as many different ways as they can and recognize that these 2 different ways of seeing the same thing are not necessarily, it's not a problem that you can see 2 sides of the same coin. It's more like you're embracing this one single object as something that has many different meanings, and none of these meanings have to coincide. And so I think there's a little bit of a message in this, which is that it's fine to look at something and not have to reduce it down to a single set of ideas. It's fine to look at something that you see and realize that you won't understand it, and you can't reduce it to something that's simple and concrete and digestible. And it's fine to not look at the world. It's fine to look at the world and not be able to comprehend it in one single way. And if someone has another idea about the way the world works, it's fine that that also exists, and there is no, perhaps, communication between the 2 of them. So I think I should stop there.
Yeah.
We've got questions though.
Questions, man.
Yeah.
We know you're really intelligent and we know you got